We may now proceed for the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, our next panel discussion will be on owning the customer, rethinking retail control. To monitor this session, we have Mr. Sudip Gupta, Director, Customer Consulting, PwC India. Let's put our hands together and please welcome Mr. Sudip Gupta, a moderator for the session. Our first panelist, let's put our hands together and please welcome Mr. Arun AB, Vice President, Exclusive Branded Outlets, EBO, Libas. Next panelist, we have Mr. Chandra, Gowd, Managing Director, Akshata Retail Private Limited. Our next panelist, we have Mr. Dhiraj Agarwal, co-founder and CEO, Campus Sutra. A very warm welcome to all the panelists. The next panelist we have, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gaurav Manchanda, founder and director, The Organic World. Next time, I'd like to call upon Mr. Mahesh Reddy, CEO, GOPIZZA, India. And our last panelist for the session, we have Manisha, Prabhu, Country IKEA, Business Manager, IKEA. Our next topic of discussion, owning the customer, rethinking retail control. First of all, a very warm welcome to all the panelists. Let's put our hands together for each of them. And now we wish you luck, all the best for the session. I may now request the moderator to please take it further from here. Thank you.
Quick mic check for everyone. Check. Awesome. So thank you again, the panelists. It's a very esteemed crowd and a very diverse crowd, I must say, from QSR to organic fruit brand to one of Hello? Yeah, got it. So yeah, like I was saying, a very diverse audience. They're getting. We'll share, Arun. So again, thank you. I think the topic is really interesting as to who owns today's customer. Of course, every retailer would want to think they own the customer, but in a very fast-changing digital landscape, I think, given that every square foot inch matters, either unit economics-wise or based on experience, people would want to capture the customer's mindset because they are the same entity that shops clothing, eats pizza, wants to go to a wedding and also, do their home up. So I think it's extremely important for today's retailers to look into this aspect of how do they think they can own the customer. And that probably, let's dive into that as a first question too. And I would want the panelists to go one after the other or however you please as to what does owning the customer mean to you in 2025? Arun, we can start with you.
So, according to us in Libas, owning a customer is like, it just doesn't end with a wardrobe. It is like being a part of their lifestyle, where they're able to relate to us. They're proud about being associated with this brand. I think if we have to call it in a simple term, in Libas, we're saying like we are in the business of creating a sisterhood. Like we really want customers to know this brand and feel that it is part of their lifestyle. And I think that's what we are thriving for. I think the product and the sales is an incidental one. And I think that's the way how we want to own our customers. Even if our communication is very quirky, we don't do anything formal. We do a lot of touch points where we have, let it be digital or physical. We try to create an impression so that they feel very attracted towards the community.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. See, when you look into the current diversified market, we are talking about physical and digital, the way how it has been there. Today, no longer we call all our stores as retail stores. I don't think so. It should be a retail store. It is supposed to be an experience center. That's what the customer is looking at every touch point. Today, the amount of information which is being there with the customer, either it can be because of the amount of social media which is being there, the content which he consumes in terms of YouTube, in terms of Facebook, in terms of Insta. He's having everything at his fingertips. Every customer today, see what happens for us is that the challenge, we are into retail. Primarily, we are partner for the most of the Titan brands, starting from Tanish to Carrot Lane, so on and so forth. The challenge currently today is that the customer expectation has gone up. Every customer today, if you want to talk about an experience, he has to feel special across every touch point, starting from the entrance to the buying to the after sales service. Every time today, what the customer expects, it is not just buying a product or probably buying a service. He is expecting today, like I feel, in fact, Ranga is there, my friend is a very long partner for Titan. I'll give very classical example. One of my aunt, she was a customer for one of the store. In fact, she used to own the store. I was not knowing it was my friend's store itself, honestly to tell you. She owns the store because she's been felt specialized in that store. In fact, today, if at all she want to buy a jewelry, she'll walk in only to that store, despite me even having a jewelry store. The reason being is that she owns the store. In fact, she's being a customer, she's owning that store. She's advocate for that particular store. And for every product when it comes, she gets a call. That is the kind of special treatment every customer looks. Nothing called loyal customer today. Because the amount of content which is available, the amount of products which are getting innovated day in and day out, it's all about an experience. Am I getting, first of all, a special treatment in the store? I'm ready to even walk for 10 kilometers away as long as they have taken care of me, they have taken care of especially for me itself. That is only like many people were talking about, like I heard that one of the optical guy was saying that if the return is there for me at the end of the day, I'm MSME at the end of the day, will I be able to return? It doesn't matter. MSME is for you. For a customer at the end of the day, am I getting my service what I want? That's all it matters. What is your cost? What is your probably product cost, your experience cost, what immaterial of your profits for him? For him, he bought a product, he's been specialized, he's been taken care at every touch point. You make money, you make profit, you make loss, it has been ends with you. But customer requires an experience at the end of the day. That well is said. Very challenging in retail, especially like a front-run retailer when you look into it. Today, when we look into it, the field force which is available in the market, most of the people who works in a retail, probably +2, they would have passed, few might be graduates. Getting a talent to give this experience itself is the biggest challenge in the market. Yeah. Most of the retailers might be facing this particular one at the end of the day. But you can never take a customer granted. The choices are enough as long as you make him special. He should feel that he is the first customer for that particular store. He or she should feel that the moment the product comes, she is the first one who comes to know about this product. Like we do, I cannot name the brands, we are being a partner for many of brands. When we do events, when we cut the ribbon itself, we tell the customer, you are the first customer who is cutting the ribbon. That's the kind of experience what a customer looking into it.
Yeah. So with that, Dhiraj, you are a digital first brand. What does owning the customer mean to you?
Yeah, I have a very different take on this. I think a concept of owning the brand and being married to the brand is very 10 years old, right? Even if you look at ads 10 years back, used to have campaigns like The Complete Man and Hamara Bajaj and all of that, right? Especially if you're talking of Gen Z customers, they don't believe in marriage. The relationship starts with, the one night stand, right? So, which has both its good as well as bad things. So if you are a new brand and you're somehow able to catch his or her eye on Instagram, he or she will give it a try, right? So you get a foot on the door. It's a one night stand that gradually graduates to, whatever the relationship. It can get something serious, or you can, just forget about the relationship and ghost that person, right? So I think that's the relationship. The brands have to evolve and understand that in today's world, you don't own the customer. In fact, if you have to just think of it as a relationship, you have to think of it whether you're staying with a dog or a cat at home, right? The dog is loyal to you. But today's customer for me are like cats, right? You love them, you give them all the pampering, you feed them well, and then they might choose to stay with you or they might walk away. They're not like dogs. So I think many brands get caught onto this thing that because they have some data of the customer or the customer has purchased 5 times from you, you own the customer. You don't own the customer. And if we have to take like deliverables from that, for a brand, for me, the biggest deliverable is you need to start looking at what is the definition of brand today. Earlier, the definition of brand meant XYZ, right? That you do good ads, you whatever, right? And then the person would buy your brand. Now it is about staying relevant to your customer day in, day out. Whether as a XYZ brand, are you able to create a ecosystem, the product, the communication that keeps the customer hooked on for life, right? So it is like long-term relationship, man. You have to kind of put in that extra effort. Unlike before where एक ही BSNL था, so even if you didn't like the service, you had to stay with him. That's why the divorce rates were so low, right? So अभी वैसा नहीं है. अभी you have to make sure that you're putting in that extra effort. You remember their birthdays, you wash the dishes, you contribute to home. So it's the same thing for brands, that you have to do everything that the customer requires you to do and do it over a period of time consistently. That's what will keep your brand afloat in today's environment where you have 10 new brands coming out every day.
Yeah. Gaurav, over to you. Everyone's going to eat.
Sure.
Clean.
Just to add to that, I'm very much in your camp, Dhiraj. I think owning a customer, or even the concept of owning a customer, is a misnomer. I think in this age of retail, in this age of consumers, you certainly need to care for the consumer, you need to nurture the consumer, and you need to engage the consumer. And all this has to be done with a base level of trust. I think the trust is a key element here. Now, as you engage and as we evolve with the customers, there's certainly an element of getting to the needs of the customer. So the needs of the customer at this stage is quick convenience, you got to work on that. If it's price, it's got to work on that. And I'd say especially for us, because as I run the organic world, it's very much focused on clean foods, organic foods, people that want to live a sustainable lifestyle. And trust becomes a key element here. And meeting the needs of the customer. The pillars that we work in that creates the core of the business that we have is based on accessibility, authenticity, and affordability. I mean, affordability comes down to meeting the price points of the customers. Authenticity is truly the trust factors and saying that you're truly authentic when it comes to clean foods. And availability. Right now, people don't look at e-commerce as only a channel. They look at it as a way of shopping. So we just need to be present in these various channels of shopping. So we have ourselves both offline and online and even quick commerce as well. So we'd like to be, I'd say, accessible in all these channels. So it's certainly these elements of hitting the needs of trust, of their need, and also bringing them along in the journey of growth, engaging them on a regular basis, whether it's taking them to the farms, taking them to show what you have, where the source is, what the traceability is to build that element of trust. And then that loyalty towards your brand.
Mahesh?
Owning a customer, I'll relate in this busy schedule or busy customer's life. I'll divide the entire experience into 4 slices of a pizza because I run pizza brand and South Korean brand. I'll divide the 4 slices into if a customer's in the entertainment zone, if he can be part of it. If the customer's exercise zone can be part of it. If a customer's education zone can be part of it, then I'll feel excitement with the family time. In any of this slice of a pizza, if we can own and if we can be part of their day-to-day life in this busy schedule, that's how I feel proud that we can own a customer.
Well said. Manisha?
Yeah, hi. Hello, everybody. Warm afternoon to all of you. Yeah, so at IKEA, we've always empowered our customers. You know, we believe that they can create their own everyday lives. And we first study the customer. We find out what their pain points are, what are their evolving needs, and accordingly maybe design. So we don't sell, according to us, we don't sell products, we sell solutions. So the solutions could be for a B2C customer, there could be a different solution for a B2B customers. So we have seen some customers just like to be shopping on their own, but there are some customers who don't like the mechanical way of shopping. And then we have something called a personal shopper. So we see that, how we can, to each customer, do we provide a solution. Even the digital tools, I think so, it should make life simple, the journey of shopping simple. So I think so, in short, for me, it is, we don't control their journey, but we design it together for them.
Right.
Yeah?
Well said. I'll stay with you, Manisha, for the next question. IKEA usually is one of the large format retailers that we have seen in India open their doors and doing phenomenally well. But in the recent past, you have also opened a lot of city stores.
Yes.
Where did that transition come for, and what has your experience been, and why did you even do it?
So I said we understood the customer journey. We understand that, before IKEA used to only, work with big, large stores. But with the evolving needs, we realized that we need to be where the customers live and there. So we have different formats in India. One is, of course, the IKEA large store is there. Recently in Whitefield, we have opened something called the plan and ordering point. So here we are looking at small formats where all the upcoming buildings are there. So how can we help people design their homes better? They don't really need to travel. For small accessories, they can just go down to the store and do it. Plus we come in Bombay, we have a Worli store, which is a mall store. So we are working with different format of the store so that the customer can easily access us. So that's the whole mindset change that yes, with the busy life, everybody can't go to such far away stores. So we are coming in all sorts of format.
Okay. Arun, you started as a digital brand and now in a spree of opening stores. Do you agree with Manisha's point that you need to be, was that the push that Libas starts to open stores?
So it was a little different. So what happened is, because we scaled up really fast in the marketplaces and in online, and we were not present in offline, the same customer was purchasing offline as well. It was not that they were completely online. No one is, they're always hybrid customers, right? And imagine there are certain categories which people want to buy offline because of some things, like, and it is just not a regular purchase, it's an experience. Let it be for a festival, or let it be you're in the market already, and if you're not available, they would purchase with someone else. So, and when we were sitting on a lot of good data, we had a lot of good loyal customer base, we thought, why not? And we started with Delhi NCR, and we could see a huge amount of love. Then slowly we expanded into other cities, your Bangalores, your Punes, your Ahmedabads and Hyderabad. So we now, because we are not opening stores blindly, we know where our customer base is, we know where, what type of shopping happens, what styles sell. So that, with that knowledge, and I think getting into retail is a very different thing. Like if I have to give you an explanation, like when we opened our first store in Hyderabad, we saw, that was the first store in Hyderabad. Customers, out of 10, at least 2 or 3 were already wearing a libas. And they were so proudly they were coming, and they could see that it's like a friend whom I was chatting with, and suddenly I'm meeting him in person, in flesh and bones. And they just came in and they were so happy. And that is something, and that feeling is something which physical stores can create. And for us, we believe all these channels don't work separately. They're all part of the same ecosystem. The same customer who purchases from a quick commerce, purchases from a marketplace, and they do buy from offline also. So it's up to you, be there at different times of in their shopping journey, and so that you can have a better wallet share. And yes, so what happens is, when you're only an online brand, out of 10, 7 women know this brand. And out of 10, only 1 man would know it, because why would they go and search for a kurti, or why would they go and search for a kurta set? So, but with offline stores coming in, now they know it, yeah, I have seen this brand, they experience the brand. they come with the woman for the shopping. So more brand visibility also comes in. And ulta, that helps us. When a customer gets accured to the brand, then they start buying with us in online. So it works both the ways. Like.
Sure. So you're saying essentially the discoverability aspect is higher and of course more in control when you have a physical presence.
It has. It builds you more, like, it just occurs a different side of customer also. And if you see, like, I think in this year, till now, we have opened almost 25 stores. And in another year or so, we will have another 40 more stores. So that confidence and that comfort we are getting because we know that we have a brand and we know we have a product. And now we are just adding one more distribution channel. And as all of us know, like, there are a lot of things with online. Like, you have to play a huge volume, you have thin, sharp margins. But as offline, still, there is still a little bit of juice which can be taken out, and you might not be able to scale it up to the level of online, but as a one more channel, I think it really adds a great proposition to the entire mix of business.
Sure. Maybe next question to Mahesh and you, Gaurav, both in the retail space. Again, from a discoverability standpoint, do you think playing around with formats in India, like a pop-up format or a kiosk-based format, does it really work in your favor, or do you think you stick to the basics, open a high street or a mall or something that would be more, like, I would want to listen from both of you actually.
I feel everything and anything works only in India. So I'll share the example, like, we are there in all the formats, from 50 square feet to 2,000 square feet. We are there in all the verticals, like airports, standalone, high street, highways, store-in-store, educational institute, next to your house. This opportunity is only available at India because the customer demand and the availability of the customers, the format can be exceeded. For example, the competitor of ours took 25 years to open 2,000 stores. For me, it took just 2 years to open 70 stores. And by one more year, I'll add another 150 store because of these formats. So because of these different formats of pop-up, kiosk, we are able to expand everywhere and anywhere.
So just to add to that, I think discoverability, comes down to what is top of mind and what is easily accessible. I mean, nobody wants to go fight traffic and, identify or go to the, go to a certain location, right? So it comes down to what's top of mind and what's closest to you, right? So we've tried, our format is neighborhood grocery stores. Our format is to be in the neighborhood, in pretty much every neighborhood in Bangalore, right? That's the goal, to be not only in the pin codes, but to be in every neighborhood. And we do have all sizes. We have everything from about, about 150 square feet to about, 2,500 square feet, right? So we range across. And very often we set up pop-up stores, typically, under a tent or 2 tents in offices, in parks, in apartment complexes. So it's really just to be in front of the customer. Whatever it takes to be in front of the customer, it just needs, a truck, we need, a couple of manpower, and we just get out and, launch a whole bunch of activations of that nature. And, and once we do get the customers onboarded, then it comes down to, how do you service the customer? How do you delight the customer? How the customer trusts you? And then they come back and reinforce wherever you might be. Because they believe in your value proposition, they believe in what you stand for, and it connects with them. And that further on builds trust and loyalty.
Great. Dhiraj, on that note, on making that connect and storytelling happening, you are a Gen Z brand in many ways. So what do you think works for them? Is it the storytelling? Is it the social validation? Is it the price point? What is working for you?
एक तो क्या है, whenever we think of customer, we think of them as somebody who is outside, right? And we are people who are thinking for them and things like that, right? So so we have this philosophy that whenever thinking of customer, you think of yourself as a customer as well, right? So if you are buying a product, what are the things that matter to you? Like, let's start from there. Whether it is Gen Z or non-Gen Z, what are the things that matter to you? Obviously, good product, price point that you're looking at, communication, things like that, right? What has drastically changed, I think, for Gen Z are 2-3 things mainly. One, the mode of communication has changed, right? For people in the 30s, 40s, 50s, for us a brand was 2 things, predominantly, at least for me, कि या फिर TV में दिख रहा है या फिर उनके बहुत सारे स्टोर्स हैं, राइट। यदि वो है तो मुझे लगता था कि ब्रांड है, या फिर मे बी मेरी वाइफ को लगता है कि यदि कोई इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड इंडिया में आया है तो वो ब्रांड है, राइट। वन थिंग दैट वी हैव रियलाइज्ड व्हाइल इंटरेक्टिंग विद लॉट ऑफ these people who are youngsters is that for them a brand is what they have seen online, right? कि यदि उनके Instagram feed पे आ रहा है and it appeals to them for anything, for the product, for the packaging, for the communication, for them that is a brand. So I think one important change that has happened from say last decade to now is that the mode of communication has changed. That's one. Second, they're looking for more realistic communication. So for again, if I take my example or example for people who are in our age group, right? यदि शाहरुख खान बोलता था तो उनके लिए ब्रांड था। इनके लिए यदि कोई उनका कॉलेज का बच्चा बोल रहा है या फिर कोई यंगस्टर बोल रहा है या फिर somebody whom they can identify with, right? Even if the copy is not very, it does not have that finesse, does not have that glow. For them, that is the brand. They give more weightage to that vis-a-vis if a star is saying, right? So I think that's the second change. And third, coming back to the earlier point, that it is about being relevant. While the greatest thing for new age brands is that this is the community which is very, very easy to kind of crack into, right? You can get the first sale very easily with anything. It can be with the product, it can be with packaging, it can be with even a communication. कि एक उनको reel पसंद आ गई तो उन्होंने खरीद लिया, right? But to keep them as your customer, you need to then get into things like, whether you are able to create a community that they identify with, whether you are speaking the voice of, what your stand are on things that they identify with. कि यदि India, for example, Operation Sindoor कर रहा है, तो as a brand, are you kind of standing with them? Or if, if, I don't know, if there's something that people don't like, are you as a brand kind of, putting your voice around that? So those things have become very, very important. So while the youngster's mind today is very, very complex, I think the more you can get closer to their mind, the better the chances of success.
Mr. Chandra, you have, like you said, a lot of partners, a lot of retail store outlets. Taking cues from what everyone's saying, if you have to redo a store for a 20-year-old, what are some of the key things or elements that you would eventually end up changing in the physical space of retail?
See, primarily we are dealing with a human being, is a customer. Here is the emotional touch is the one which matters at the end of the day. Today, everybody speak about online. What is the percentage of online sales in overall entire gamut of your portfolio? Entire India doesn't even have a double digit in online. Now, when we talk about owning a customer or customer experience at the end of the day, it is an emotional touch what we give to the customer. It matters to any brand. It might be a footwear to a jewelry. Today you can buy any of the apparel which is 1,500 rupees to 1,000 rupees from online. Will you be able to buy a 15 lakhs worth of jewelry online? I don't think so. You won't have a touch and feel of the product. That's how it matters. Even a lakh of today, anything above 40,000 barring mobiles, if you want to buy, definitely you won't have a touch and feel of the product. When you want to have a touch and feel of the product, the retailer comes into the picture. The experience what you give at your outlet is the one which makes a difference for you and your competitor at the end of the day. Not only the competitor, even the same brand today is having a multiple stores in the same city. Why should a customer come to Jayanagar? Why not he can go to the JP Nagar at the end of the day? If that is the case which happened, it's all about the experience, what happens from the touch point once he comes and from the time which he leaves. It is not like we cannot abandon the customer nowadays. Anything and everything. We need to be able to service to him as long as we are able to meet his expectation. He doesn't expect great things. Huh? Honestly, we think that even though we want him to see in a different way customer expects as long as he's been taken care when he comes and he's heard and we are able to meet his need. That's it at the end of the day. And constant touch. In fact, I tell to our managers in our stores what we tell them. It's not while entering which is more important, while customer leaving the store is more important. That is a point where you need to share your contact details. If anything is there, he has to come back to us rather than going anywhere else.
Right.
That's where you win the customer. Then your NPS, everything is being taken care rather at the end of the day.
So small gestures really do matter. With that, Manisha, such a big store, but IKEA has been an epitome of high degree of trust and customer loyalty. Can you share with us what things that IKEA does differently when it comes to driving customer loyalty?
Yeah, I think so. IKEA, of course, been so many years, and I think so. The loyalty, the brand loyalty is really a thing, because I think so. One thing is IKEA keeps everything very simple. We do have a loyalty program which is very strong. We have something called a family. So we want every customer to be a part of our family. So we have a family program, and for the business customer, we have a IKEA business customer. So all our offers, everything is for our family customers. Our events are for our family customers. So I think so we really we don't believe in really discounting and getting a person. It's about the service and the experience. They really need to love the brand. Even for my family customers, I think so we'll be one of the few people, we give 365 days return, a whole year return. So we tell the customer to believe in our brand. If you're confused, you take your time, if you don't like it, we're always there, So I think so those kind of things which are long term. So we don't believe in, short term gains of, right now sale is everywhere and you're discounting the products. But I think so IKEA doesn't really do that, So we believe in giving an experience, a solution, and a great, relationship with our loyalty program.
Got it. So the core values really matter. To that, Gaurav, yours is a clean label brand. I'm sure it takes a lot to kind of bring that consumer confidence that you're truly an end-to-end organic. Like, please share some.
Yes, absolutely.
Stories.
Being a clean label, organic food brand, there's an inherent, a flag necessarily goes up in people's mind. Like, is it truly, where's the farm? What's gone into, making this food? And that's pretty natural, right? People should ask what's in their food, what they're consuming, where it's coming from, etc. Right? To me, I think again, trust is critical. Trust is the currency for loyalty. And if you ask me, loyalty is not just points, but it's an identity. I mean, very much like, for IKEA, the identity is family-based, it's for businesses. So it's certainly an identity that people want to associate with. It's not only by discounting. It's inherently something they believe in, they trust in, and they see it at different touch points, right? How you engage with them, how do you deal with returns, how's the customer service. For example, for our return policy, we have a no questions asked return policy. Right? Of course, we identify if there's abuse of the system, etc. But it's a no questions asked. If somebody has an issue, we're like, sure, we'll replace it or we'll refund you, whatever you need, right? So it's, I think, a few, let's say, samples like this to build on the experience for the customer, make sure that, they trust you, they believe in you. One of the things that we've done, which is, one of the pioneers in a sense, was with regard to responsible retailing. Responsible in the sense that we are responsible for what we're putting in front of the customer. And with that, we banned some, 25, 30 a large number of chemicals from our stores, right? We don't even allow things like artificial colors and artificial flavors in our store. We knock off things like, sulfates and sulfites and nitrates and nitrites. Anything that we believe is not sustainable for human consumption over long terms, we've knocked it off our shelves, right? So we've curated it and made it simpler for the customer to shop with us. And we are very proud of this blacklist. We say, hey, this is a blacklist, and companies that want to, I'd say consumer brands that want to enter our store first go through the vetting process to say that none of the harmful chemicals are present in the food that we believe is not good. So we kind of build trust on a step-by-step basis as such.
Mahesh, you are a QSR fast food brand. You deliver pizzas to customers less than 5 minutes. I know you don't want customers to sit and eat, but in that short time frame, how do you drive loyalty?
I believe delivering fast itself is a loyalty. Delivering on time is a loyalty. In this today's busy world, if we do not deliver, it takes time. So for example, when we launched this brand, we were thinking, there's so many brands, and how can we be different? How can we win the customer? First of all, it was a food tech company. Second, it's a South Korean brand, and a lot of people know us now. Third thing, we thought, pizza is same everywhere. So we change the shape of the pizza. We change the size of the pizza. We ensure the service is different. We ensure the space where the outlets can be present is also changed. So all the S part is being taken care. So that made us different compared to any of them. So then we thought, when we change the shape and the size, how will the customer relate the product, because normally pizza comes in circle. How do we do this? Square pizza. Then we made it oval shaped pizza. So pizza with kimchi, for example, pizza with, when we say in US, if you'll say pizza with paneer, they'll say how can the pizza can be eaten with paneer? But of course in India, without tandoori, without makhni sauce, pizza will not be accepted. So that's the variety and the category. But yes, to win the loyalty part, we felt the mobile app which we launched, we ensured that the customer acquisition happens from the day one, and today we have the good database where we can pull the customer and we can wish the customers on their special thing, and we can tell them how different we are every week with the new products what we are launching and the new experiences which we are giving. Like recently we launched 2 more new brands. That's called Gochujang and Delcomi. So these are the Korean brands. So altogether a Korean experience. Now we see it's doing very well.
Right. So coming to you, Dhiraj, a lot of online first things. Can you talk to us about a little bit on the smart retail, like how you are analyzing these patterns? Are you using cutting edge technology, and how to drive more loyalty, more repeat purchases? Because you are catering to an audience that is truly the epitome of fast fashion. Like, I don't want to wear that t-shirt, let's say after 3 times or whatever. So how you're using technology to drive some of your offerings?
So we've had this very strong belief that the only way to scale, especially in a category like fashion, which is very, very complex business to run, right? We have like 32,000 SKUs, and you have seasonality, and you have all the complexity that you can think of retail. I think fashion is like at least 10x of anything that you can think of in retail. So one thing that we realized very early on is that if you have to scale in this business, it has to be tech-led. And so I follow this very, very simple decision that any business decision, the first process or the first act that we do as a company is to convert it into a technology problem. In today's day and world, solving a technology problem is much, much easier than a business problem. So as soon as you're able to convert a business problem to a technology problem, then you have a solution which is long lasting, right? And we have done this across, right from your fabric procurement to your production to operations to, one of the biggest thing in fashion is demand forecasting in terms of replenishment, in terms of new styles, what are the data points that you're capturing and stuff like that, right? And how do you take decisions based on that? In the online world, getting data is the easiest part. Everybody gets data, there is a lot of data, but how you utilize it is important. So just to give an example, people talk about retention or loyalty, right? Just a show of hand, in the last 1 or 2 months, any message that you have got from a single brand, which you thought was good from a retargeting perspective, that okay, they get me. Anyone? Yeah, please. You got a message from a brand that you thought clicked with you? What was the message from which brand? There's no mic.
Can we have a mic?
Excuse me. Can we have a mic there?
To the gentleman there, yeah. In the white shirt, 3 are them in white, but yeah.
Yeah. Good evening. I got a message from High Design on my birthday saying that you are eligible to buy a bag with 30% discount. I bought the bag.
Nice. So, while that is great, but very honestly, when I was in college 25 years back, this is what loyalty was. Ki birthday pe wish karo aur unko ek discount de do, right? So just think of it, in 25 years, after so much of information, so much of database, so much of things that we have had on online, still we are hung up on that birthday message, right? We have not moved beyond that. So that's my point, that people talk about loyalty, people talk about retargeting, and we have a lot of data, but very honestly, I'm yet to see a breakthrough, and this is not only about India, right? Even internationally, I'm yet to see a breakthrough where you are able to reach a customer in a way which really connects with him. And I think that's the challenge. That's what we should be looking at, not just collecting data.
Right. Arun, again, back to you. A lot of new stores. So beyond sales, beyond the sales per square foot metric, how are you measuring success today? Because you were there, you're opening into a new format. What's success for you in the stores?
I think for us, there's a lot of small things, the basics, what we see, what basket sizes we can hit, what bill values in hit. I think the entire retail industry has moved into that. I think for us, if I have to say one thing which I would really value is, imagine if a customer walks into the store, when they go back, like what he was saying, if I'm able to put a smile on that customer's face and make them feel that, yes, I do know this brand now, and I would like to be associated with this brand. Maybe if imagine a customer happily follows us on Instagram after coming to our store and seeing it, that means something I've done right? I think they want to be in touch with the brand. So these type of small things, I think today, like, yes, you do collect a lot of data, you do try to profile your customers, but some small things is something. How do you find those small triggers in the store, those bottlenecks and touch points where you can create that little bit of how you can differentiate? And retail is not new. Retail has been there forever, and you just need to have your eyes and ears open. As Gaurav said, like, we are also a consumer. What is that makes us really happy? There is something called FOMO, definitely. Like, imagine when a sale event happens in online and offline, there might be 2 crore customers buying online, but the other person would not even know that, okay, there are 2 crore people and there are 50 lakh people looking at this product and I am one among them. But in a store, imagine when you're doing a sale event, and imagine there are 40 people in a store where there are only 10 people, and if a customer asks the other person, what is that girl trying? I want that piece. I think it makes a huge impact. Like, there are a lot of these type of small triggers, ease of movement and bottlenecks. These are a lot of things which we value a lot in our stores. And one more very important thing is, if imagine a particular product, imagine I can keep only 100 kurtis in a store. And if I know that there are 10 over there, which I know that they don't deserve to be there, that has to be out. Because I'm spoiling my customer's range and experience. Because I don't know, she might see only those first 10 pieces also. And my cost per square feet in a warehouse is much cheaper than a front end in a mall, right? So it is very picky and choosy. And like, even how we choose our mannequins, how we look at our mirrors, there are a lot of those things. I think some things can't be measured, but it has to be come from it. So that's why we always look for a very self-driven team, the team who actually feels that there's a guest who has come into their house, and give them the attention and make sure that the overall journey is very smooth. And we believe that once the customer has bought, that's where the journey starts. Like, I think she has subscribed to you. Like what he was saying, it's just a one night stand. How you perform or how you impress the girl in the one night stand is where your relationship is going to be. And people are not loyal, simple as that. There are 10 other people who have a better proposition. So it is very important that you create that best impression. Your teams have that warmthness to show that, like, what is it? Yes, we are there for you. Like how we are giving the numbers. These are small things which actually makes a difference. That's one of the reasons why even offline is 90% of business even today. Because these things, there could be a convenience which will come in quick commerce. It could always be a band-aid. But if a girl wants to go and buy lehenga, she's never going to do it in quick commerce unless she's getting married in 2 hours. She wants to go with the family. She wants to go with friends. Even though she likes a lehenga in the first store, she will see 10 other stores, because it's not about buying that product. It's about experience. She knows that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. Let me enjoy it, soak in this moment. These things are what, softer things is what we need to value. And that's where we coach our teams also. We continuously say them, make them feel special. They have come here. From that door, you can't do anything. You can't pull customers inside. But now when they're inside, they're yours. Your washroom should be the best. Your every touch point should be the best. They should be felt like princesses. And that's what it is. Like, I think it shows in your Google reviews. It shows in your bill values. Everything is a result. I don't want to push them for the result. I want to influence the inputs. And that's where it is. And results is something you can always see.
Got it. I think you've touched upon something that no panel discussion can be over without touching that subject, which is quick commerce. So maybe we'll go around the horn. Manisha, starting with you. I know IKEA is not there, but what is your thought about giving that brand feel in an instant manner, at least in the cities that you're there?
I guess IKEA, of course, is not there, and I think so for us, what it is, as he said, it's, IKEA is about the whole experience, coming to the store, seeing the room set. So we don't want people to, miss on that. So we really, as I said, it's more for us a long-time relationship. It's not about, but yeah, quick commerce is something which is the in thing today, but we have online and we are trying to, reach to the customer as soon as possible. But I feel an IKEA loyalist will always want to at least once come to the store and feel it, and get the whole experience. It's like a day out, the food that we serve, the whole room set. So for me, quick commerce is still not in the game right now. Yeah.
Mahesh, maybe, I know you do deliveries, but, or maybe not, slightly different question for you in terms of how would you drive traffic otherwise? Because everyone else is using quick commerce as a key entry point for brand discoverability, quick turnover, quick stuff. For you specifically in the QSR space, what things would you do differently to drive more traffic to your outlets?
We are yet to explore on the delivery, though our delivery sale contributes only 20%, 80% is the dining.
Oh.
So is there an opportunity for delivery? We are yet to start the delivery full-fledged. We believe first let's have a retail experience. So in our experience, when you come to the store, you'll see the Korean music playing, you'll see the Korean merchandise, you'll see the playpan for the kids. You'll see the Korean clays over there, Korean dresses over there. So the experience, more than the experience, we see all the today's Gen Zs coming and spending time taking the photographs, logging into the Insta, tagging to the Insta. So this experience is helping us for a repeat, and this experience is helping us to increase the delivery sale when we have our own delivery. But we believe that more than the delivery, because जो गरम गरम जो खाने में मजा है, delivery में time लगता है, irrespective of it, at least in food, of temperature, even if it delays, your BP will go up, and if it delays, even the temperature of the food also will go down. So that's why we believe more in the dining experience. To address the issue of how can we capture the delivery market, I believe every 5 kilometers we can open the store, which can be accessible to next to each house. That's how we would like to explore the entire India market.
Great. Gaurav, your take on quick commerce?
Absolutely. Quick commerce is no doubt a fundamental shift in the industry, right? At least in consumerism and in the retail industry, right? I mean, right now, with this fundamental shift, everyone's got to adapt. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've certainly adapted. We've launched our quick commerce. We want to make things convenient for consumers, and we continue down that path, right? We believe, again, it's certainly a channel. We are offline, we are online, we are in quick commerce, we do next day delivery, same day delivery, 2-hour delivery. So we're trying to make it convenient for customers, but it's not the end all and be all of everything. And what I mean by that is the Indian market and the Indian retail industry is incredibly complex. It's large, it's complex, there are highly, significant nuances between markets, between consumers, between people, between cities. And there's I'd say a differentiated need in each of these areas, right? So while e-commerce quick commerce continues to grow, it doesn't necessarily, I'd say, take away in such a significant term from other areas. I think the retail industry will continue to grow, not only offline, but also online and quick commerce. And they will go side by side, is my opinion.
You're there, Dhiraj, already on quick commerce?
Yeah, so my perspective on quick commerce comes from two places, right? One, as a consumer, do I like quick commerce? Hell yeah, right? Who doesn't? 1 minute में सामान आ जाए तो better, 1 minute पहले आ जाए तो और better है, right? But from a brand perspective, there are 2 points that I have on quick commerce. One, very honestly, I was one of the skeptic of quick commerce. I always thought that this is something which will not work, especially in a category like ours, fashion, right? When the conversation started around quick commerce, the initial thought was ki, lingerie will sell and handkerchief will sell, but a fashionable shirt or a kurti will not sell, right? And this is where all of us have been proven wrong. What we have realized is that there is definitely demand in terms of people wanting it fast, and if they're getting it in half an hour, why not? So there is crazy demand, right? There's a market shift that we can see as a brand happening, right? But whether it will continue to make business sense in the medium to long term, that I'm still, I think the jury is out on that. We all of us keep hearing about the burn that is happening in the industry, which is around $1 billion per quarter, is what I'm told, right? So how far can this sustain, especially given that the cost of manpower, which is a very critical cost in quick commerce, will keep going up. For a country like India, as our per capita GDP goes up from 2.5 to 5,000, right, the manpower cost will exponentially increase in the next 5 to 7 years. So given that, an industry in which the manpower cost is the critical component, which is already burning money, how will this sustain in the medium to long run is something that we have to see.
Mr. Chandra, I know you're not present, but a different take in terms of driving personalization maybe.
When you talk about quick commerce, will it stay? See, we are currently into the lifestyle category. In lifestyle category, definitely the discovery, what we talk about, there is a discovery which happens online. The customer comes to the offline and purchases at the end of the day. That's not going to change. It's going to continue to be there. The discovery will continue to happen. However, because unlike like an apparel or any other product, primarily we are into jewelry as well as like I'm talking about opticals and the lifestyle products when we are there. Customer wants to have a touch and feel definitely. That's continue to be there. Even like in a market like US, hardly you will find a penetration as far as the online is concerned. However, the offline store which is going to continue to drive the sales at the end of today, any brand you take, when they come online, why do they open offline store? They need to have an experience at the end of the day. The customer want to see into it at the end of the day. That's how it will continue. Both will coexist. The customer will have a discovery and offline will come and purchase at the end of the day.
Arun, you're selling kurtis happy and loud on the platform.
So I think we are very excited about the quick commerce bit. I think our recent season and the current summer and everything, we could see a lot of traction in quick commerce. I think what we are trying to do is if the restaurants can do it in both the offline and online, my business is anyway 50% in weekend and I have another 5 days where I'm paying rental, I have stock, I have people. Why not? Why not milk it? And that was one of the things, and we could see a good traction. I think we have to cap the number of orders to the store because I know the store can't just do it. It's not a warehouse. But we are able to see hundreds of orders coming to our store in quick commerce. And we are expanding our network of dark stores also. And imagine when if I get a property, I just want G+1 and the topmost floor is coming at a throwaway price. I happily take it because I know that I can use it as a dark store. And it is the buzzword, definitely. There is a lot of customers there. And if, like as he said, viability and all those things are there, but you do acquire a lot of new customers. And there are a lot of needs where people just don't want to come out in the heat, rain, or they just don't want to go through the traffic or parking in the mall. They just want a quick convenience for an evening function or a next day office. All those things, I think, and customers, because they've used online, they're much more comfortable with quick commerce. There is a trust factor. And I think this is a wave which we really need to ride into. Yes, there are a lot of roadblocks and a lot of challenges and other things. But I think it is going to be something which will eventually become, at least it will take a good amount of share from the online regular e-commerce sales. I think it's something which we should embrace. We should adapt to it. And I think that's what we're doing. And I think we are very happy that we are doing this in style.
We're pretty much out of time. Just a 30-second rapid fire. What is that one bold move or an experiment that you're up for running this year in order to aim to own the customer, whether it's wallet share or mind share? 30 seconds take from each one of you quickly. Maybe we throw in some questions from the audience.
See, the biggest challenge for a retailer is that getting back the customer to the store. Today, most of the retailers, most of the brands they were talking about, we don't have a LTL growth of the similar store. Primarily, the reason being you are adding a new customer, but the existing customer is not coming back. Even the buyer growth which is going down, the biggest challenge for retail is that can I have a buyer growth? Forget about the top line will happen at the end of. As long as you have a buyer growth, you've been in the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, this year I'd certainly like to go deeper with AI. AI, I think, is in many ways, shaking up many industries, and why not even the retail industry? For me, it's certainly looking at efficiencies, improving processes, increasing speed, more behind the scenes than front line. It's certainly still a very human-based touch in the front line. I certainly believe, AI is critical to improving many things in the retail side of things. But more, I also certainly believe that AI is a co-pilot and not the pilot.
Dhiraj, anything from you? Any bold experiment that you're running this year? Manisha will come to you.
I'm in that phase of life where my mantra is observe and adapt, right? So no new plans. It's just about observing, seeing what is happening in the market and adapt as quickly as possible.
Great. Manisha.
Yeah, for me, it's always customer first. So whatever customer, we keep on, understanding his needs, try to judge it. Don't be behind time, because IKEA, of course, has certain, ways of working. But I think so if it is needing, as you said, quick commerce, if we need to be there and we understand, if our loyal customers want that, we'll be there. We have other ways, like we have RCMP, remote calling and, buying or designing. So I think so, be with the trend, be with the customers, just understand their pain points and act accordingly.
Mahesh, Arun, quick closing thoughts.
For me, I think it's about creating that buzz. It's about standing out from the clutter. There's so much noise, so much content. How can you stand out? There are hundreds of people selling shirts, hundreds of people selling kurtis. How can I add that extra quotient of coolness to my product? I think that comes by creating a lot of buzz, thinking completely very differently. And I think that's what we are up to. And I think a lot of things, let it be our Libas circle or how we did our Purple Day sale, you could see that how we were able to stand out and create that little bit of difference. I think we'll continue to do those, and we have a lot of interesting properties coming up and a lot of interesting ideas coming in. And you would say that we would be creating a lot of eyeballs we will be attracting, and you'll get to see that.
Mahesh.
I believe we all should be lucky that we are at the right era, right place, and we are Indians. I'm telling you with the experience of the learning from the global investors, we have so much of opportunity. If innovation and technology parallelly play a role, let it be any category or any brand, we are in the game. If both go slow down, we are out of the race.
Wonderful. Audience, any quick questions from anybody? Raise of hands. Else, I think it has been an interesting time. Diverse audience, very different thoughts. Appreciate all of you taking the time out today. Thank you.